It's the Aloha shirt psychic. Go and grab your lei. His name is Meldor. He keeps our stress at bay. And every week he goes live on the internet to read on all of your political comments. It's the Aloha shirt psychic.
Hello, everybody. I'm Meldor, the Aloha shirt psychic, and I've got the one, the only Kevin Chandler in the house. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Mel. Hey, everyone.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So everybody, we're not answering personal questions tonight. We're only answering political questions, world event, domestic events, weather, that sort of thing. But we're not answering personal questions. Okay. As every Thursday, we keep it strictly to politics and world and domestic events. So thank you though for participating. So Kevin, what do you got coming up, my friend?
Oh, well, I'm in the middle of a Reiki class. Looking forward to that. I do have Holy Fire Reiki level 1 and 2 classes in October and November. I have 2 separate classes. They'll be the last ones for 2015. And one is already just about booked. So if you're interested in that, you can find more information and book on my website, kevinslovingvibrations.com. How about you, my friend? You're always busy.
Well, I've got 2 openings for Peru. 2 people canceled at the last. There's been so many cancellations for Peru, and I can't figure out why, because it's going to be an incredible trip.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, call my office ASAP, like tomorrow, and let me know, because we're leaving within 2 weeks. So I really need to find out.
Okay.
Iceland is sold out, and we've got Benicia coming up in November with Linda Grindle. And in order to, I think there's a few more openings left on that. So go to Linda Grindle, GRINDEL.com/events Benicia, and you can get your tickets that way. And next year in May, I'm going to have a cruise on the Danube River. It starts in Prague. We tour Prague, Czech Republic, or Czechia, as they call it now. Then we motor coach down to Germany, I think Regensburg and Passau. We get on the boat in Germany. We go across the Danube through Austria, stopping in World Heritage Sites. I think we have a stopover in Bratislava, Slovakia. And I don't know if we stop in Vienna or not, but we end in Budapest, Hungary. And then in September of next year, I have a trip to the Galapagos Islands to see
that'd be awesome.
the Galapagos turtles and all of that. So that's what's coming up. Kevin, you just told me I've got over 90,000 subscribers.
Yeah, good for you.
Wow. So thanks to everybody. When I hit 100, I'll have 100,000 party. How's that?
Oh, cool. Yeah. And you'll get your YouTube plaque too. You can display it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I would, obviously.
Yeah. Almost there, my friend.
Anyway, so we're ready to get started. If you're interested in my trips, I don't know how to put them up on here. I do, but rather than mess with it, just call my office at the number below, 847-590-5411. And also hello to Andrew at Androniki Skincare. You want to order it, you can go to Andro-Niki, N-I-K-A, or Niki.com. It's great products. No, we're not paid to advertise it or plug it. It's just they're great products. And so that's why we talk about them. All right. Infomercial's done, right?
Yes, I am going to change the bottom of the banner because that is you have Arthur's stuff on there. But that's okay.
Oh, I didn't know that, but
okay. Well, you just had a show with him on Tuesday, so that's why.
Yeah. How do we take the Androniki down?
I'll work on it.
There you go. There you are. Okay. So let's get started.
Yes.
Carol Bark says Taco has been dismantling FEMA. Do you see a hurricane or tornado ripping through Mar-a-Lago? Yes. Yes. Rumor has it it'll be the next Wizard of Oz, and he will play the part of the Wicked Witch of the West.
I don't know about Mar-a-Lago, but I do feel some southern Florida having some hurricanes this year.
I've been seeing Mar-a-Lago get hit and having massive damage.
Uh-huh.
And then let's see. Let's see what Cheetolini does. I call him the DIC. Sound it out. Dictator in chief. I don't want to go to YouTube jail, or I would sound it out. All right. Okay. I don't know. This is kind of a personal question, but no personal questions, please, tonight.
Yeah, we have a lot of them tonight.
To our special and kind guides, do your guides visit other people? Well, our guides just aren't assigned to us. They can be assigned to numerous people. So,
I think it depends. I think we have guides that come down here that guide us for our lifetime, and I feel like those are specific to us. But there are working guides that will come in, if you have a new hobby or career or things that you're interested in, and those I feel like they work with multiple people.
Yeah, the flip side of that is if you have a guide that's like an archangel, like Michael, Gabriel, Ariel, or Uriel, I think. They work with everybody.
Yes,
for sure. It's not relegated to one person. All righty. Hold on.
We got a lot of questions coming in now. Good.
Okay. Moon Whisperer, that's a personal question. I'll put it up, but we're really not going to do personal questions. It's a question about her son and a lump. So please call my office, 847-590-5411. And I will take a look at it. Okay. I guess her son is 34. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm just scrolling through here.
We have a bunch of questions started if you want me to pull some up.
Okay.
Maddie wants to know, will protesters be safe in DC this weekend? I didn't realize they were having a protest.
I think it's going to be like the Labor Day march or something. Well, I still feel like in some of these right to assembly, as I call them, that the DIC is going to bring in people to try to incite violence.
Yeah.
But the marchers will just stand back and not do anything. So, the reason he's doing that is because it's a litmus test to see if he can declare martial law. That's what I pick up.
Every time I read on the protests, I always have like that caution kind of come up, and that's not to say tell people not to protest, because you all absolutely should, but just make sure that you use your intuition and you're very aware of your spaces if you're going to protest. I actually agree with you. We both have been saying we feel like this is all a test for him to declare martial law and send the military against peaceful protesters and those that are using their constitutional right to free speech. I get that there's a bit of something going on with this DC. There's like a back and forth. And I agree with you. I do think that he's putting paid agitators in there to stir things up. A big announcement coming from the protests too. So, I'm not getting the tower, but I think there might be some disturbances there.
Yeah, we have a right to a peaceful assembly. It's our constitutional right. And I know what he's trying to do. Like, all the hoopla about him sending, National Guard to Chicago. And it's, in order to do that, it has to be something against the Insurrection Act. And there's nothing in Chicago that's happened that's against the Insurrection Act. So,
right. And it's the same thing with crime. They're not even sending the military to areas in DC that have the higher level of crime. They're in all of the public spots just so that they can get attention. Because because it's his power grab, you know?
I think behind the scenes that, his advisors have told him don't do it with the National Guard because those are impeachable offenses, but everything he does is probably an impeachable offense. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Well, when you don't have Republicans standing up to him, he can do whatever, right? He's king.
That's
I
correct.
do see him sending the National Guard into some bigger cities, like yours, like Chicago. I wouldn't be surprised if he sends the guard there.
Well, if he does, then our governor Pritzker said we will be taking names
Good,
and we will prosecute
good.
because it's illegal. And, I understand from some of my lawyer friends that if you're in the military and if a commander gives you an illegal order, you do not have to obey that order.
Yeah.
And so Pritzker will take names and will arrest
Hmm.
some of those people.
And not even just Pritzker. I think if he's going to do this to other states, I do see Democratic governors really standing up to Trump and his power play.
That's right. He wants to create chaos. What are the D's? He's nervous as hell about the Epstein files, I tell you. And a lot
For
of
sure. Everything's a deflection, one of the D's.
deceive, divert, detract, distract, divide, destroy. I've got to put deflection on here.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wrote that down to the D's. So how many D's do we have? We've got deceive, divert, detract, distract, divide, destroy, duplicitness, deception, and deflection. Well, we already had deception. So we've got.
Well, and you have the best one, DIC. So
That's right. The DIC.
Right.
All righty.
Well, I'm just going to warn you all. I can hear a big thunderstorm coming in. So if you lose me, that's probably why. But hopefully we're all good.
All right. Please, everybody, political questions only, current events only. Mar-a-Lago, I've been predicting for a long time that I saw a humongous hurricane hitting Mar-a-Lago and doing tremendous damage. So, okay.
Do we feel like anybody in Trump's circles wear angle wire? If they were smart, they would, because they're all going to be running to make a deal to save themselves when Trump.
I hear a yes to that.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I wasn't picking anybody up, but anybody specifically that you're picking up?
Well, I don't want to say it publicly, but it wouldn't be ordered by the DOJ or the FBI because for obvious reasons, Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. But I pick up yes. Pam Bondi's going to end up in jail, and so will Kash Patel for obstruction of justice and for abuse of power. So
when Trump is out, I feel like all of these illegal actions to deport people, everybody involved with that, I see massive investigations and some people going to jail, and even a lot of stealing our information with Doge and all of that. I see some massive investigations and quite a few people going down.
And using it for ill-gotten gains. In other words, like trying to break into voting records and all of that to see how people vote. And then using that against them. The Constitution says that we can criticize or speak up against the government without fear of reprisal from the government. And Trump has broken that constitutional right so many times. But he's going to be called to task on all that, I'm telling you. Yeah. But I don't see him in office long. I just don't. In fact, when I hook into him, Kevin, when you walk in a funeral home, that smell you get, I get that smell. I see a coffin and a hand going like this. Whenever I see those three things together, it usually means somebody's going to cross over within a year. Now, my timing is horrible as a psychic, but every time I hook into Trump now, I see those three things. So
yeah, I feel a major health event coming up for him this September. So in a few days, I feel like I just did a September forecast, and I think it's going to probably be the most significant month of 2025. I see a lot of stuff coming out with the Epstein files, huge, massive money corruption investigations and things being exposed. I mean, it's not going to be a good month for Trump.
Right. I agree. Okay. Sharon Donnelly says, hi, Mel and Kevin. Could the impending constitutional crisis predicted be Trump's refusal to swear in newly elected members of Congress next year because the Dem took both houses again? That's a good
No, I don't see that.
He
I think
might.
Trump will be out before the midterms. Just my intuitive hit. I think he'll be out before the midterms.
I mean, they might try, but it's not going to work. I think we're already in a constitutional crisis, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
With that thing about flag burning and all of that, and the Supreme Court said, and Trump said, I know the court said that, the people can do it, but I'm going to sign this presidential order to say they can't and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of giving the middle finger to the Supreme Court, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't care.
Yeah, but that's impeachable. And it's also, you have one branch of the government saying that it's okay for people to do it, and another branch saying that they're going to be incarcerated if they do. So there's a standoff, and that's a precursor to a constitutional crisis, in my opinion, anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And also, too, the thing with it is when Trump is gone, they're going to have to really get clear on presidential powers and restructure everything so that this can't happen again. I don't see Trump being around by midterms. I really don't. I think, like Mel said earlier, the health being major. And I actually think a lot of the oligarchs and people in charge of the Republican Party are trying to force him out. They're going to do a power grab before midterms. But if he was, and I do think that he would absolutely try something like this, I just don't see it happening.
Well, I will pray that you're right.
Yeah.
This is a good question too. Will disabled people get their rights back and receive more respect? Well, I mean, when you have a president that makes fun of people who are disabled, that's an abomination, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But once he's gone, and once the Maybelline Queen is gone, Shady Vance, I see legislation passed again to protect disabled people and to help them, if they're unable to work or can only work part-time. I see every presidential order that Trump signed into, it's not law, by the way. He can't make a law. He can use the presidential, I call them the kingly decree.
Yeah, it doesn't make it law.
But the courts then decide whether it's constitutional or not. So the stuff he's signing really is not a law. So I see once he's gone, all of those executive orders that he cranked out, the next president, not Maybelline Queen, but will overturn every single one of them.
Yeah. Well, and it's going to take some time too to clean up all the damage and destruction he's done. But I agree with you.
Ever noticed when Trump was president the first time around, when he left, the mess that we had, or when George W. Bush left office and Barack Obama came in, and how the Democrats always have to clean the messes from the Republican presidents?
Oh, always.
Okay. Oh, we got spirit readings. What a great psychic team. Hello from Pasadena.
I'm going to pull this question up. And I don't know if Mel wants to read on it or not, but I will just say this. I don't pick up when people are going to cross over. Although I would say I don't think it's probably too long for King Charles, but I do see a change in the monarchy and
right.
And I feel like that's actually probably going to be later this year or early next year with William coming in.
I see the number 7, so it could be 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was diagnosed, my guides told me his time was short, and it's kind of sad in a way because he waited his entire life to have the throne, and then once
just
he got
in there for such a short time.
Right. I mean, this next question, it's personal, but it isn't, if that makes any sense. Eleanor Jones says, hi, Mel and Kevin. I'm flying to Germany in December. with my green card, do I have any problems to enter the USA when I come back? I hear no.
Yeah, I'm not picking up any issues either.
A lot of people are afraid to fly because they're afraid when they come back that, customs and immigration will take their phones and all of that. I'm traveling and I'm not worried about it. And if I were worried about it, trust me, I wouldn't be taking people on trips. So go have a good time, Eleonora. And when you come back, you'll be let back in the country without any problem.
I agree.
That is a good question, though. Let's see here.
All right. Don asked, is the CDC walkout going to bring Kennedy down?
No, not as long as Trump is in office, but I'll tell you what will bring him down. There's going to be a huge rise in COVID cases. And because he's saying that, they're not going to be able to make the vaccines anymore. I don't know exactly what he said, but the drug companies are going to fight that tooth and nail. And all of those are going to bring him down.
Yeah.
That's what I pick up. Once Trump and the Maybelline Queen are gone, Kennedy's going to be, as Linda Grindle would say, a huge nothing burger.
Yeah, I agree. I do feel massive resistance and people standing up to him. And I did hear one of the Republican senators was calling him out. And I do feel some of the Republicans starting to call him out and put pressure on him too. I don't know. I don't think that brings him down while Trump's in there because he doesn't care. But I don't feel like he's in there for too much longer.
He's about as qualified for the job he's in as I am to be a brain surgeon.
Well, you could say that for all of his cabinet, right?
You got that right. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. NCAT9544. Do you see Greg Abbott? I got to think of a name for him. Winning re-election in midterms, and do you see? Is it Colin or Colin? Colin. Winning a Senate seat. Thank you both.
I feel Greg Abbott's going to be out, and I don't know if there's somebody primarying him on the Republican side. I feel like it might stay Republican, but I'm not seeing Abbott in there, unfortunately.
I see a lot of cheating going on.
Yeah.
And did you hear that Trump was, it gives the Republicans a great advantage, what they're doing in Texas and redrawing all those lines, But yet, when Newsom did it or puts it on the ballot for referendum, they can't do that. We're going to file a lawsuit. Well, what do you think? If it's okay for Texas, why is it not okay for California? I mean,
because it's hurting his chances.
I get that, but I don't. But
that's why
I believe that anybody,
the hypocrisy is crazy,
would push it in one state and then the other state it's wrong. It's like, what?
Yeah. I do feel the gerrymandering in Texas backfiring because I do think Democrats will get more seats because of it, even if
a lot of people, rather than voting for the Republican candidates, will vote for the Democrats. So yeah, it's going to back up. It's going to blow up in their face.
Look at Iowa just had a special election for their state Senate, and Democrat won by like 20 points higher than what Trump did when he ran.
There you go.
So, I mean, that right there tells you.
And Iowa's a red state.
Exactly. So they're going to try to cheat and manipulate things, but I feel like the turnout's going to be so high for the Democrats, they're not going to be able to get away with it.
Kevin Lewis is in the house. Hi, Kevin.
Kevin.
Helen says, everybody stay positive. Absolutely. Well, it's okay to be afraid. And, we can still be spiritual and be angry. But let that anger, cause us to speak up. And we have rights. And, we need to call our Congress people, on our shows. We always put up numbers and talk about places you can call, to voice your concerns. And you have the peaceful right to protest. You have the right to peaceful protest. And I'd get out there and do it.
Yeah. I would say with that, try not to allow like the hopelessness and fear to defeat you. But like you said, use it to motivate you.
Right.
Observe, but don't absorb.
I'm sorry. Let the fear get behind you and push you forward,
Mhm.
not stand in front of in front of you and hold you back.
Yeah. I mean,
Somebody
now's
else.
not the time to give up or to give into fear. Don't allow it to consume you.
Becky wants the lottery numbers because we're not answering personal questions. Yeah, Becky. Well, if you get them, would you do me a favor? Send them my way.
Exactly.
Becky, she's just wonderful. When I was sick, the doctor said I could eat cheesecake, and she sent me cheesecakes.
Becky's sister.
I was eating cheesecake, and every time I would have a bite of one, I would think of Becky. Uh, let's see. Okay.
Vicky wants to know, what do we see for Jamie Raskin? I always feel like he was a founding father in a past life, somebody that helped create the Constitution. Can't you see that when you tap into his energy, his aura? It's like he was part of who founded our country.
I don't know.
I think he'd be great in the Supreme Court. I think he's going to stay in the Congress for a while, though.
He will. He will. I think once the DIC and the Maybelline Queen are gone, a future president is not going to start pulling people out of Congress or the Senate, the House or the Senate, to put in presidential cabinet positions because they're not going to want to upset the balance of the House or the Senate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Raskin's good. He's got the sun, this most positive card in the deck. Success, happiness, opportunity coming in for him. So I think he's going to stay in the House, but I could see him in the Supreme Court too. I don't necessarily pick him up in a cabinet position like Mel said.
No, I don't either. Okay, let's see. I'm looking here.
I just pulled one up because we have a bunch of them started, Mel. Angel Divination. What do you see for the outcome of the CDC chief firing?
I see him filing a lawsuit, the same with that woman and the Federal Reserve governor. She's going to file a lawsuit and her job will be reinstated.
Yeah, I see that as well.
Trump put those charges against her because he wants to stack the Federal Reserve with his own people. And the CDC chief, I see lawsuits being filed because he wasn't fired for cause. And it's buckle up your seatbelts. It's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah.
Carol Baker.
I agree with you though. The governor chair, I do see her getting her job back because Trump can't fire her, and that, I think she's already suing Trump.
She is.
The CDC head, I do see them getting their job back in the future. It's going to be a bit of a fight, though.
The next president is going to, like I said, everything Trump did, he or she's going to overturn. But I'm thinking that, and also rules passed that, people have to be qualified for positions. You just can't take, like an RFK and put them the head of health. They have no medical background. It's like, what?
Well, the thing is I'm not necessarily seeing another major pandemic coming in, but all this anti-vaccine nonsense and getting rid of supplies, people are going to die because of this.
That's right. That's right.
So he's responsible for the deaths of everybody that could have, their deaths could have been prevented.
Well, even that before, when the pandemic broke out, and he didn't do anything. Carol Baker says, "Oh my God, I want to go so bad, but that's the week I'm moving to my new house." Well, Carol, the answer is simple: move the week before or when you get back. All right. I had to touch that one. I was like,
that's funny.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, are you okay?
I have a bunch started. Thank you, Starfish Believer, for the super chat. And Teresa Spriggs sent a super sticker as well. Thank you. We appreciate that. Starfish Believer, what's going to happen to the CDC employees with latest resignations as as well as availability of vaccines for all. Well, I just touched on that. I think that there's going to be a hard time getting some of the vaccines. Like I said, I do think some people are going to tragically pass away because of that.
What a lot of people are going to be doing is like getting them from Canada or across the
Mhm.
border. And then if Cittadini or the DIC says you can't do that, then they'll just leave the country to get the vaccine. You know,
Yeah.
they. I remember when they were doing that before. They were called vaccination vacation. Uh, so that's what I see coming.
Mhm.
Kind of sad that we can't get medications that we need because there's somebody like RFK who thinks that he's got a worm in his brain and that
It
the
ate half of his brain. I think that's the issue.
see, I disagree with that because he never had a brain to eat. All right. This is a good one. Sending light, love, and the most benevolent outcome to Ukraine. I've been talking to some Russian friends, and they have relatives in Russia, and they're telling me that many Russians in Russia, obviously, don't like Putin. They want him out. They want to get rid of him. And
Mhm.
I see an uprising there. I do. And I see Putin ousted, the same as Lukashenko in Belarus.
Yes. Yeah, I've been saying that. We both have been saying that for a while. I feel like a revolution and people uprising and demanding change.
Right. Let's see here.
Oh,
Oh, here we go.
I
Oh, there we
just
go.
pulled one up.
Elon,
Well,
go
we'll
ahead.
say Fleon
You can read.
is being sued for his election interference for the $1 million giveaway. Will this lawsuit be successful?
Yes. You know, that
Hmm.
$1 giveaway, I don't know. That teeters on being illegal. Is that
It's bribes for votes.
is that interfering with the federal election? I would almost think so.
Yeah.
Um,
I see disappointing news for Elon there. I don't think he's going to be jailed for it, but I think it's going to cost him some money.
lots of money.
Mhm.
And behind the scenes, he's going to be sinking money into not Democratic candidates, but candidates that are anti-Trump. Now, I do not like Elon Musk, but I've got a funny feeling even if he knew that he could spend a lot of money and defeat Trump, he would probably even back a Democratic person behind the scenes
Mm.
just to get even with Trump. I'm not saying he'll do that, but I'm
Yeah.
telling you behind the scenes, he's going to be spending a lot of money to get Trump out.
Well, haven't you heard him and JD Vance are all being buddy now? That's what I'm saying. They're all trying to get Trump out.
Right.
If he has a massive stroke, they will use the 25th Amendment to remove him.
That, I never thought of that, but
Mhm.
I well, you've been saying that for a while, but I mean, I've been seeing dark clouds around his head area. And I've been saying for, 2 or 3 years it's something with his head.
Mhm.
Um, and when they showed like his legs and they were so swollen and they said it's venous insufficiency, it's like wrong. I'm not a
Right.
doctor, but that looks like congestive heart failure to me.
Absolutely.
Somebody says that Andrew and Nikki are great products. Okay. Oh, oh my God. This one, it just gets crazier and crazier, doesn't it?
Um, oh, geez.
Retired chef.
Nothing surprises me with them, though. Isn't it all projection?
Of course. Stephen Miller said they were planning on declaring
Mhm.
Democrats a terrorist group, would stop all funding, etc., and pretty much end things. Thoughts?
Good luck.
Good luck, because it's not going to work. And Stephen Miller is another one that I see behind bars.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know
Me
about
too.
the American kind. His wife's going to be in hot water too, or his ex-wife. I don't know who she is. But, here again, it's just misinformation. We're going to declare war on Democrats. They're a terrorist group. Well, excuse me. The last time I looked, Donald Trump was the one that that tried insurrection.
Exactly.
Isn't he a convicted felon on 34 counts? Hello. So who's the criminal, right?
It's all just pandering to their base and getting their crazy base all upset. And again, yeah, to cause an insurrection or civil war in this country. But I don't see that happening. Yeah. And Lisa Foster says Trump's worried about getting into heaven. Did you hear him talking about that?
No, I didn't. But did you hear was it one of the states? I forget which state it was in. Was it Nebraska or one of them? The governor there says that every school has to have a Bible in the classroom and that the teacher has to read from the Bible and it has to have a copy of the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. It has to have a leather binding or something durable. And so what's he talking about? Trump's version of the Bible. So now Trump is trying to cut a deal with these MAGA governors to put his Bibles in classrooms. And who's making the money on that? Donald.
Right. Exactly.
If they can hold them right side up, that's the key.
Well, that was what I was that's what I was thinking. If they can even read it to understand it, right?
What did it say? He's worried about getting into heaven. I didn't hear that. What about it?
He was just going on a ramble the other day. I mean, he makes no sense anymore talking about him wanting to go to heaven or needing to go to heaven. I mean, that right there tells you he's not.
He doesn't give one flying you know what about heaven. He doesn't care about that. He's just pandering to the ultra right-wing Christian nationalist. You know, look at what a great guy I am. I'm worried about going to heaven. Well, your behavior certainly doesn't warrant that, Donald.
Right.
Okay. Let's see.
All right. I got a question here.
Okay, go ahead.
Ruby Moon. I'm so mad kids in the U.S. are always in danger in our schools due to wacko, crazy mass shooters. So are we. Do you ever see the government working towards eliminating or adjusting our Second Amendment? I don't see them getting rid of the Second Amendment, but I do see them putting a lot of safeguards to get rid of some of these weapons that are military grade and that normal people shouldn't have access to. That can cause mass damage where you can shoot 50 rounds in a minute, you know?
And I see a complete ban on weapons like that, like those 47s. I mean, come on, we're not allowed to own hand grenades or rocket launchers or things like that. But, you know, it has nothing to do with our right to bear arms, you know? The Second Amendment will last, but I do see legislation passed that you don't need an assault weapon to go hunting. You know?
Exactly.
Those weapons were made for one purpose only, and it was to kill humans. So,
and I'm not anti-Second Amendment, by the way, either.
I'm not either.
Bear arms to protect ourselves if you like to hunt, but no, I think that there's all of these military grade weapons that, you know, psychopaths can just get easily. You know, there needs to be a lot of regulation on that.
I guess, and have we become so numb to gun violence in this country? Even though he talks about violence in our cities, this, that, but yet he doesn't make one mention that I've heard anyway about curbing gun violence with gun control laws to stop these school shootings and all of that. There was just one in a Catholic school or Catholic church, right?
Yeah. Well, that's because all they can do is give thoughts and prayers. They can't do anything to put any laws through to stop that.
It's an abomination that they haven't taken any more action or any action whatsoever. You know, yeah, we send them those families, our thoughts and our prayers. Well, that gets to be old after a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't we do something to actually change it so that we're not
you're right. I see legislation being passed to limit or to make certain assault weapons illegal. So you know what, Ruby Moon? Good. Get really mad and use that anger to fuel you and to speak up and to say, we've had it with our kids getting killed. Our kids can't even go to school anymore You
Yeah.
can't go to the grocery store. You can't go to a movie. You can't do anything because you have to worry about getting shot by some crazy person.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good point too. We're not going to have any real change in our country until we get rid of lobbyists, and these lobbyists can't buy politicians because the whole Republican Party is owned by the NRA.
You know what? My psychic light bulb went on, and I see another bankruptcy for the NRA. And I will shudder to say within the next 7 to 10 years, the NRA will be completely dismantled
Good.
and lose much of its power. And it'll be almost a nothing. That's what I see coming.
Yeah. Well, and go figure with this crazy killer, hunting down children and all of that. Of course, the mainstream media is not talking about him being a crazy MAGA person.
Right, exactly. Which he probably was.
No, he was.
What is it? Oh, Dan. Hi, Dan. Dan's in the house. Hey, Dan, artist, painter. My question is concerning RFK Jr. Do you see any karma come to him in the near future? Yes, yes, and yes in spades.
Yeah.
He'll catch his karma.
I see some secrets coming up from a past relationship that are going to be pretty damning for him.
His own grandson spoke out against him.
Yeah. I mean, for entertainment purposes only, just looking at him, he definitely feels like he's extremely abusive.
I see another Kennedy as president, not RFK, but it would be somebody who in that family that would talk about, how crazy that RFK Jr. is. And many more people in the Kennedy family are going to start speaking out against RFK Jr.
Yeah. I feel some health problems too, probably because he shoots up all of those steroids.
Oh, you can't do vaccinations, but yet, he does all of his steroids. Hello,
Allegedly.
We'll call him. What can we call him? I got to think of a name.
Does anybody? I'm not sure of the effects that steroids have on the body, but I can just say I'm being pulled to the liver. So maybe that's from swimming in sewage too. Body trying to detox, but I feel like some liver issues.
They can cause issues to the liver, issues to kidney, long-term effects of steroids. Your skin, it tears easily. It can cause brain tumor. It can cause anger. It can cause brain damage. I mean, the long-term effects of steroids are not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling some major liver stuff going on with them.
Cat Nana. With the CDC firings, RFK's anti-vax stance, can we expect more deadly outbreaks of childhood disease like German measles, whooping cough? Will elders be affected too? The answer to that is yes. Mm-hmm. And what's going to happen is people are going to start speaking out and screaming out, and that will be the demise of RFK Jr., his downfall from office, because even Republican politicians, as you said, Kevin, are going to say, no, wait a minute.
Yeah, I see Republicans standing up to this. Yeah.
I don't know if we put this up, but thanks, Teresa.
Yes.
Oh, this is a really good one. I'll let you read it, Kevin.
Will FIFA move events for World Cup 2026 out of the U.S.? I'm not necessarily picking that up, but they're looking into it. I'll throw a couple cards on it.
They are looking into it. In fact, behind closed doors, they're thinking about it, but they're probably thinking about the lawsuits that would be involved, and contracts being broken and all of that. Yeah. But I'm picking up that they have already set up an alternative site, alternative country.
My first card out is they're looking at other options, like looking out on the globes. But I do agree, like they're somewhat restricted, like their hands are kind of tied. probably because of contracts and all of that. I'm not sure when the World Cup's going to take place. Is
Yeah,
it spring of next year? I feel like it's going to happen here, but they're looking at other options as well.
let's see. This is funny. Sharon Donnelly, when we were talking about the hurricane hitting Mar-a-Lago, she put, I won't read it, but everybody can read it. It's really funny. Well, probably a version of that too. A vision of that too. All right. Let's see here. Oh, somebody here's from Norway. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and they just had to jump in. Hello, Norway.
Hello, welcome.
Um,
Thanks for stopping by. Oh, can I just say, Sharon says, can alligator Alcatraz be reassembled at Mar-a-Lago? I've been predicting that it was going to get shut down because of lawsuits, and that's exactly what's happening.
And I see a hurricane hitting it.
Yeah, I think people will be moved out by then.
Exactly. And those people that were detained unconstitutionally without due process, they're going to file lawsuits against the federal government, the Trump administration, and they're going to win those lawsuits.
Yep, absolutely. That's why I said everybody involved with all of these cruel, unjust, unlawful mass deportations, they're in for some trouble when Trump's out of office.
You know, my light bulb just went on, and I have been seeing the government confiscating big parts of Trump's money, and I'm feeling that with all the lawsuits I see coming against the federal government because of the illegal detention of these people, that the government is going to use that confiscated funds from Trump estate to pay off those people.
Well, as they should.
That's what I pick up. Because when Trump did it, it keeps going to the Supreme Court. They're saying you can't do that. And he keeps doing it. And he knows he's not supposed to do it. And that's the court ruled against it. So it makes it illegal. And so that makes him, I would think that he can't get immunity for that. I don't think. I see big chunks of his estate being used to pay back the government because of all the money he's cost the government because of his shenanigans.
Yeah, I think it'll come from his estate, because I think he'll be dead and gone by the time that happens.
It will come from his estate, but I find that karmic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here,
This is a good question. Oh, go ahead.
What do you see as a result of the government having a 10% stake in Intel? It seems like a slippery slope.
It's because they want to privatize everything.
Of course.
I feel like there's going to be lawsuits over this. Something like stopping it, like you can't do this.
I heard today that Walgreens was bought out by another company and that all the Walgreens stock was publicly traded. Now it's going private. And and they're talking about closing a huge number of Walgreens stores. So
really?
Wondering about the implication that's going to have on us being able to get our prescriptions.
Yeah. Well, and with the tariffs and all of that too, trade war stuff, I'm sure prices are going to go crazy high, with even higher overinflated. Yeah, I get them having to reverse course on this because there's heavy burdens here and they're walking away. So I'm not familiar. I hadn't heard of the government having stake in Intel, but something's going on with it that they're going to have to kind of walk away from the deal that they're making.
That's what I think too.
Laura says here, Republicans in California are now proposing to split California into 2 states instead because of the redistricting. What do you think? Well, I don't see that happening, but I think if they want to split California up, why don't we split it up into 5 or 6 states, since there's so many people living there, and then we'll get 12 more Democratic senators, and there'll be more equal representation for California. I'm for that.
Well, so if the Republicans are talking about that in California, Democrats can be talking about that in red states. Yeah, why don't we just split it up
Exactly
and make it 2 states? And number one, my feeling is it's unconstitutional.
Yeah, I don't see it
Number
happening.
two, you can't secede like that. So it just goes to show you that they didn't really pass Civics 101, nor has Trump. And that's what's so frightening. These people know nothing about civics. I'm like, what? Didn't they have Civics 101 in like ninth grade? Or
No, no. You know what? I'm not one for getting in people's way to vote. But honestly, I think if you're going to be a voter, I think that you should have to take a manual 4 or 5 hour civics class just so you know how the government works and how your vote works. And because there's so many unintelligent and uneducated people that don't understand how our government works.
the bigger answer is just make sure mandate that it's taught in schools.
Well, it is taught in schools. It doesn't mean they pay attention to it.
Well, they didn't go that far in school.
Well, maybe that's it, but I don't know. I feel like you should have to take a civics test to vote.
That's a great idea. I don't think it would ever hold up.
It won't. No. And like I said, too, I'm not one for taking away people's rights, but I think you'd have a lot more educated voters if you had to be somewhat educated in
that. Jolyn Shumisky says, for entertainment purposes only. Thank you. Aloha, Joe.
You.
All right. Thanks to all of our moderators, by the way.
Well, what does it say, too, that California Republicans are talking about splitting the state into 2 states? It tells you that they know that they're going to be successful with competing with Texas for gerrymandering, and Trump threatening lawsuits and all the Republicans in California throwing a hissy fit. They know it's not going to go anywhere.
So the Democrats in Texas could say the same thing. Let's just make 2 or 3 different states, and there you go. That's not going to fly. So they can have all the hissy fits they want. But ever notice when the Republicans do something like that, it's okay.
Oh, of course.
Fine for them. But you let a Democrat or an independent do the same thing, and they're screaming foul play. It's just the hypocrisy of that just blows me away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's what it is,
This is good, Debbie Smith. I like this. If one hits Mar-a-Lago, I'm sure he'll have a fundraiser for it just after the one he is doing to buy his seat in heaven. Entertainment only, YouTube. You're probably
somebody was saying he was asking his followers to send $15 so he can make it to heaven.
That is just a flagrant violation of presidential, I don't know, power. They're not supposed to receive gifts like that. I don't know if it's acceptable, but it should be. I've got to go to heaven. I look at my Bible. Send me $15. It's not about him going to heaven. It's about him pocketing the money. It's what it's about.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I am sorry. I'm on my bandwagon tonight.
When you're king, you don't have to follow by the rules, apparently, right? You can do whatever you want. You can be bought with airplanes and rip people off with your crypto scam and sell Bibles with the Constitution. It's all just a grift and a scam. He's a con artist.
Total. Here's one. It says, can guides be tricksters and have fun at your expense? No, they don't do that.
No. There are trickster spirits, but they're not guides.
Well, they're mischievous spirits that can act like guides, but you'll know the difference. I hope Mar-a-Lago doesn't get hit. U.S. taxpayers will pay for it. You're probably right about that.
Yeah.
But I still see it getting hit.
Just like his damn ballroom that he's going to make at the White House, which I actually don't even think is. They might have like the blueprint for it. I don't even think they'll get the work started on it. But he's going to get donations to build it. No, if they do anything, we'll be paying for it.
When he says he's going to get donations to pay for it, I wish I had my BS bell here. Ding, ding.
Oh, yes.
Because he's not going to get donations. That's what he's going to say. I got donations. What, he's going to get $25.25 because they all gave him a quarter.
Right.
I mean,
Jeff says, let's all send him $15 if he'll go to heaven today.
No, inflation, Jeff, inflation. Uh, let's see. This is a good one. Will Rebecca Cook win a seat in Congress against Derek Van Orden of Wisconsin?
Let me see. I don't know who either of those are,
I see
but
a
actually Rebecca Cook is standing out to me. So
I see a Democrat winning.
yeah. I don't know which one's a Democrat, which one's Republican, but the female is standing out to me of the two.
Oh, here's a good one. What do you see about the Big Beautiful Bill Part 2, the next Big Beautiful Bill Part 2?
They're wanting to do another reconciliation package. I don't see them actually getting that done.
I don't either. And, you know, the Big Beautiful Bill Part 1, once Cittadini, the DIC, and Maybelline Queen are gone, all that's going to be overturned. It's all going to be done away with.
Mm-hmm.
And I see reinstating of Roe v. Wade, by the way. So
yes, I do too. I had said I felt like the first bill was going to go through. Unfortunately, I don't think that they're going to be able to get anything else major done. I think his whole regime's about to collapse.
it is. I mean, he's got the lowest rating of any president in history. And, you know, the avalanche has started and it's getting a lot of momentum. And momentum is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Let's see. Coco Chanel. I love that name. Hello, Coco Chanel. My question is, will the bill 453 that grants chemical companies immunity for being sued or held responsible for people getting poisoned or sick with cancer, if that passes, it'll go to court and the courts will say no, that they don't have the right to make people sick.
Isn't that crazy? Why would you support a bill like that? So that there's no accountability? We can just poison people and get them sick and they just get away with it? I feel like if they pass it, it'll be overturned.
It'll be overturned. I think it'll pass, but it'll be overturned. And a lot of these people that are putting crap like that through have to realize that, you know, their constituents aren't going to vote for them because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know, and I see some huge exposés coming out about some of these big chemical companies. Now, whose palm do you think got greased on that one? I can tell you right now, Cittadini's did.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
he's one behind the scenes that had these people write up that bill.
Well, like I said earlier, we're not going to actually have any real changes until they put Citizens United back in and get lobbyists and money out of politics. Well, that's why bills like this can go through.
Once he's gone, I see, you know, a restaffing of the EPA, very strict laws about what chemical companies can and cannot do. You know, Clean Water Act enforced, Clean Air Act enforced. So here again, everything that Trump did away with, you know, all those protections we had will come back, plus more protections. And rejoining the Paris Accords and doing something to stop this runaway climate change. You know, they would like to tell us it doesn't exist. Obviously, they don't care. And that's the biggest existential threat we have is climate change.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I do see massive investment to make sure our water and, you know, all of these companies that want to damage the environment and pollute and all of that, that there's stricter guidelines.
That's right. Well, we're right at an hour. So Kevin, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's always fun.
Everyone have a safe, please, weekend coming up. Labor Day's coming. I can't believe it's the end of the summer already.
Isn't it crazy how fast this year's went by?
It's crazy. Now,
I'm not complaining though, because with him in office, at least it's moving by quickly.
Are we doing a show next Thursday? I gotta check the date.
I'm good if you are.
Okay, good. Let's do it.
Yeah. I actually have a pretty busy week next week, so that might actually be the only show that I do. But yeah, we can go live on my channel next Thursday if you're available.
All right, everybody. Thank you for your loving support. Please go to Kevin's channel, thumbs up, subscribe. My channel, thumbs up, subscribe. I'm I'm looking forward to 100,000. So
Yes. And I'm getting kind of close to 25K. So
there you
if you
go.
haven't already subscribed, please do so.
I remember when I had, 2 years ago, a 20K party.
Yeah, I remember that.
So anyway,
You have to show off that plaque, that YouTube plaque, when you get it for hitting 100K. That'd be awesome.
there you go. All right, everybody. Thank you. Stay safe. Stay well. Have a happy holiday. And next week.
Yep.
All right. Let me just
Bye,
do this.
everyone.